Here are the Tales from Tech Support stories for this video. As always, don't forget to share and like if you enjoyed these videos. Without further ado, here we go. Support at a work function. A few years ago, when I was a sysadmin at an SMB, our CEO was retiring, and he was absolutely adored by all the staff. So much so that when retirement time came around, the company threw a huge farewell for him at a casino, rented a ballroom and a bunch of rooms in a casino hotel, and flew the staff from all around the country to attend. This guy almost seemed like a cult leader. He was held in such high regards. The venue was huge, and because there was a band, lighting, RGB chandeliers, robotic spotlights, etc., AV presentations and microphones at play, the room hire came with 2 techs to run the show for the evening. They were set up with a variety of equipment, monitors, mixing desk and such, none of which I had any responsibility over. I supplied them with a couple of USB sticks of media from our side, made sure they could open files, everything was in hand. They had to run sheets for the night, so I went and sat down at my table. The night gets going and everyone is having a good time, getting merry and enjoying themselves. Throughout the food servers, different speeches are planned and are underway. Randomly, the music from an adjoining ballroom starts playing over our room system, blaring cheesy pop and dance music in short bursts. The MC was also our divisional manager. She was obviously annoyed but had little choice but to carry on with her hosting. I went and talked with the AV techs after the speech. They advised me there is nothing they can do. Their best guess is someone has wired up the 2 room systems incorrectly, and a channel from the DJ next door is outputting through our system. While we weren't using the system and the band was playing, everything was fine. They say they are handling it and have sent someone to see if there's anything that can be done. Not feeling overly confident at this point, but this is out of my hands. I go back to my seat as the next presentation is scheduled, a professionally made video, interviewing staff and colleagues, past and present, very emotional stuff where people are so sad to see him go. Crying in the video as they talk about what a great leader he was and how much he inspired them. And then the music starts again, that blue ba-ba-dee-ba-da-ba-da song, and this time it doesn't stop. You can't even hear what the people in the video are saying. The MC gets up and goes over to the AV techs, visibly very pissed off. She talks to them for a minute and they stop the video. She gets back on the mic with the music still playing in the background and apologizes to the room, and then her next words make my heart drop to my stomach. Is OP in the room? I know what she's expecting. I stand up from my table and begin to walk across the dance floor towards the AV's techs, panicking that I have absolutely no way of solving this. Feeling very self-conscious as everyone is looking at me, someone starts clapping and suddenly the entire room is clapping and cheering as I'm apparently about to fix this issue I have no hope in hell of fixing. This just makes it about 1,000 times worse. The techs looks like they just want to die. They are so apologetic and reiterate to me that there is nothing that can be done to fix this from their end. I'm looking at their equipment, which I have no knowledge of, pointing at some volume sliders, asking super basic questions like, can we mute the channel that's this coming in on? And can we switch to a local PA system as a workaround? And then the music just randomly stops. The guy they send out to see if they can rewire or stop the DJ next door must have sorted out. I still don't know. To my company, it looks like I just walked up to these 2 AV guys, pointed at a few things and worked out the problem in less than a minute. I spent the rest of the night on edge, praying that it doesn't happen again, or at least if it does, while I'm outside having a smoke. And thank the powers that be, I wasn't required to point at stuff cluelessly a second time that night. Hotel guests care more about their Wi-Fi working than a fire apparently. I currently work for a cable company doing commercial tech support, which includes supporting Wi-Fi setups for hotels, resorts, apartment complexes, and other services. We also provide support for other help desks that buy services from us, aka VAR, Value Added Resellers. This story is about a particular resort. This series of conversations take place partway through my shift. One of the buildings at the resort has had issues with guests connecting to the Wi-Fi, and all the APs appear to be offline. Our next level support team has reached out to the hotel resort about having the issue looked into by hotel maintenance, but no update has been provided. Me. Hello, my name is OP. Thank you for calling cable company. If I can get the name of the resort you're calling from? Guess one. Yeah, the name is resort with issue. I can't seem to connect to the Wi-Fi currently at the resort. After getting the info for where they are staying, well, I'm sorry you can't connect to the Wi-Fi right now. I totally get the importance of that. As of right now, we are currently working with the resort for this building to find out why it's not working. Later on, bored out of my mind reading through the TFTs and checking our office chat, call center agent 1. So, I finally spoke with the front desk for a resort that we all hate dealing with every weekend, especially during holidays. You'll never guess why all the APs are offline. Call center agent 2. A rat ate the line again at the switch? Call center agent 1. No, even better. Apparently, someone was trying to microwave a frozen pizza in the room, which set the fire alarm off, which then tripped the sprinkler in the room. When that happened, it ended up cutting the power to the room that had the switch in the building. So until they have everything cleared on their end and we can have someone out to get the switch back online, that building is down. New call comes in for this resort. I explained to them there was the fire issue in the building and that will be some time for that to be completely resolved. Guess 2. Yeah, but I have this really important paper I need to get uploaded. When will it be back up exactly? Me. I'm really not sure on that. I would suggest checking with the front desk as they are still dealing with the fire issue. Guess 2. Well, that is stupid. It's just Wi-Fi. How is that affected by the fire? Me. I would advise to contact the front desk on that matter as we don't control when devices lose power. Guess 2. But how does that affect the Wi-Fi? I thought that doesn't need power to broadcast. Sigh. Rinse and repeat. Ask more stupid questions. He saved my life. At my previous job, I was the lone IT administrator at one of the company's facilities. 1. Because it was near where I lived. 2. No one wanted to cross the city to get to that office. So one day, a really highly placed VP called me. He wanted a copy of his backup and no one was available to help him with it. Once the user has backup set up, even L1 engineers can check the backup location and retrieve the backup for them. I was curious as to what happened that no one was able to help him since 2 weeks. I said I will come down and take a look. Yes, I actually went down because that's how I like to work with certain users. They love the interaction and I get the exercise. As soon as I see his backup files, I know what the issue is. I tell him to give me 30 minutes. We used a certain backup client that came with an older version of NAS, was notoriously known to encrypt backups. When this issue had occurred, that version of backup client had been replaced and removed from the OEM website. The newer versions did not have the encryption facility. Obviously, the OEM removed the decryption app as well from the website. I used to administer the NAS boxes, but I had moved on to data center technologies. But my machine had ample amount of disk space and I never stored crap, so this decryption app was sitting on my machine. Now, had the user's laptop not been changed or formatted, reinstalled, he would have merely decrypted the backup and got it restored. But since both happened and this backup was from way back, like 5-6 years prior to this incident, the backup just sat on the NAS in encrypted format. I went to my desk, located the user's backup location and started a decrypt job. The data was all accessible and ready in 15 minutes. I pinged him on Office Communicator, yes, this is an old incident, and confirmed he was able to access his data. He gave me a cursory thank you and told me he saved his life. A week later, one of the office minions from the VP's department called me. He said VP is calling. I thought something was wrong with the backup that I restored. I hurried down to his office, and as soon as I enter the department, I see everyone is having cake. It was VP's birthday. He pulled me in and loudly announced that this guy, me, saved his ass big time. If I would not have decrypted the data, the company would have been fined big time for not following procedures or keeping evidence. Even the auditor told VP that he needs to reward me in any way possible as he did not see many IT admins giving such kind of support. So those were the stories for today's video. If you enjoyed this, a like will be highly appreciated. It really does help my channel out. Also, if you enjoyed this and want to stay up to date on the latest videos, then don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for listening, and I will see you in the next video.